Oh my god, this dude got wrecked! Whoa! Wow! Wow, man, oh man, man. Forget Bungo Stray Dogs and the tone shift that it took in episode 3. This series right here, trumped that. I mean, what happened to Subaru in this episode? This was on some berserk shit. I mean, jeez. What's up, everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scout Report. And today I bring you an anime review of ReZero episode 5. Let me tell you something. Subaru is going to be insane by the time this story is over. I mean, if they decide to go on that route and be on some old school Gundam Tomino shit where he's not going to be okay at the end of this, I can completely understand it and would expect that right now. Because the type of death that he had today, and remember, he retains all this stuff. He feels it when he dies. He remembers what happened when he dies. You can't be right in the head after something like this happens to you. This dude got dismembered. His damn arm was in top of a chandelier while he was just on the ground looking up at it. Like, jeez, I mean, he is playing Dark Souls right now. And the type of thing that can do to your psyche, I wouldn't be mad. He should just rage quit. Like, you know what? I'm done. I'm throwing the controller. Screw this. I'm out of here. But enough of that. Let's get on to the breakdown. As you remember, last episode, he woke up and his wounds were healed. And he put together that he died in his sleep, but we didn't exactly know how. Well, there's some questions that need to be answered today is because we still don't really get those answers. However, we do get another death in him, and the majority of the episode is him trying to figure out how he got to that point, and he's going to put the pieces together to get back to where he was. So overall, the episode picks up where we left off with Subaru being in bed and wondering how he got back to where he was. Again, he's going to try to piece everything together to get back to the save point per se, or the time of the incident that happened to explain who killed him or try to find out what happened. He wakes up once again in the bed and Rem and Ram, the two maids, are there and they remember him, but only into the sense that just like before where he just woke up in the bed and then they're like, well, there's somebody that's sick that's here. He has a stomach ache, so we need to take care of him. He also finds out that Beatrice still remembers who he is as well. She just remembers that he annoys her. She doesn't remember like having any type of bond or anything. It's kind of like he just met her for maybe the second time, or maybe it's the second time he encountered her. Not to the point where she remembers him well enough to kind of consider him an acquaintance. Of course, this leaves Subaru a little bit heartbreaking as he even runs out crying because he has came so far. Remember, he was supposed to have that date with Amelia the next day when he woke up, and now all that is seemingly wiped out, as whenever he dies, it looks like the new save point is going to be where he wakes up into the bed. And I have to clap and commend White Fox on this. White Fox is the same studio that did Kill la Kill. No, I'm sorry, not Kill la Kill. They did Akame ga Kill. And, you know, they didn't really hold back on censorship in that series. And this series is the same because they didn't hold back. And even though a majority of this episode was really upbeat, it was just when it did take that tone shift, it hit you like a ton of bricks and they didn't hold anything back at all. So back to the story. Subaru wants to get back to that point so he can get that date with Amelia that he's been waiting for. And he's going to do everything that he needs to do to get back to where he was. So we get everything all over again, from him building rapport with the two maids to him asking Roswell, can he work in the castle as, you know, a butler. And we get more time with the two maids as he tries to teach them to be a little bit more individual instead of I'm good at this and I'm good at that and that's all I do. He's trying to get them to show a little bit more personality, but the both of them, of course, are strongly fierce to Roswell as far as their loyalty to him, and they don't want to change their ways. But Subaru is trying to get them to see life in another light and say, you know, you can be your own person, you can do your own thing. We get a little character points in this episode. For example, Subaru's in the bathtub, or in the bathhouse basically, and Roswell comes in just stark naked behind this dude like, hey, how you doing? And, you know, Subaru's looking like, dude, get away from me. I'm a guy. I don't get down like that. Well, he's like, well, this is my mansion and this bathhouse is mine, so that makes you my property. So Subaru's like, no, I'm good. He just gets up and leaves the tub and he runs into the pink-haired maid. And again, I forgot which one is which and I apologize for that. But this is where we get or explanation of how strongly loyal they are, especially her, because you saw she was the one that was with Roswaal when Roswaal was looking to spy on Subaru and see what his intentions are, or see if he's truly there for what he thinks. And this part's pretty funny, as he ran out the bathhouse and he's completely naked and he runs into the maid and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she's like, yeah, put that sorry thing away." And it was so funny because you wouldn't expect to hear something like that in an anime. She's like, "Put that sorry thing away, cover up there, boy, and don't think about seeing me naked because I keep on my maid clothes, always will, and give up on seeing it." Because we get one point where she says she's gonna visit Subaru in his room, and he gets madly excited about this. He's like, "Yeah, I got a chick coming through." So he's up in his room contemplating, waiting on her to come in, and he can't wait to get there. But at the same time, he's like, "My one true parent is Amelia, but if I can get this twin," I mean, Subaru, so many times I've said, he's pretty much just like how you and me would probably be in a video game, as far as him being aware of what he is and the type of things he know he can probably pull off. So we get a lot of little funny points in the episode like this, but mainly it's focused on him trying to convince, I believe her name is Rem. I believe the blue-haired one is Rem. And again, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about which one is which. But a majority of the episode, he goes into the town with her as they agree to try to groom him to be a better butler for the company, or for the castle per se. And they groom him to be the best that he can. And in exchange for that, he's trying to teach them to stand up for themselves and have a little bit more individuality instead of being so similar, or only have one or two traits, and showing that people are people and people have to build their own way in order to be recognized. If you two just play off of each other, you're not going to get anywhere. So he's in the town. He's playing around with those kids that we heard about last time. He gets bit by a dog. I mean, he getting clowned by the kids in the town. He's carrying groceries and he trips. I mean, he's just having a bad day, but overall, he's beginning to get the maid to open up and see another side of not only herself, but him as well, as he's beginning to get into his niche and be comfortable in this environment. Not all hope is lost for Subaru though, as Amelia still remembers him, because again, just like I've mentioned before, at least the point to him saving her and the fight with Elsa and all that still took place. So she still remembers who he is. And he takes this opportunity, doing what every guy or girl even wish they can do. You know how you have that moment in your life where you say, if I can go back in time to this certain person, I would do things differently. He takes the opportunity knowing that she is a little bit more open to him, and takes his opportunity to just flat out ask her on a date this time, which goes over pretty well as she agrees to do it. And once again, he is excited to get to that fateful morning the next day. And after all this is done, this takes us to the end of the episode. Another thing I must commend White Fox for is, I mentioned this earlier in the video, I just want to touch on it again, that there was no opening sequence this time, so that gave them an extra about 1 minute and 30 seconds of getting content in. But this time we actually do get an official ending sequence. You know, before they used to just keep the animation going and show the credits and play the music in the background. But this time, now that we have a cast built together of Nemesis and heroes and what have you, we now have an actual ending sequence for this series as they show up for the first time. But Marvel fans know, stay after the end credits, because once the credits is over, we get back to Subaru, who says, "You know what? I need to figure this out. I'm not going to sleep," as he tries to stay awake all night. And as he does, he still dozes off, or it seems like he does doze off, as he begins to feel nauseous and the room starts to spin. Almost immediately after that happens, he gets sick to the point where he's just throwing up everywhere, and he's walking around, he's really sick, he's desperately trying to find someone for help. It is at this point where he gets to a hallway and we just hear like a chain clanging as something is getting closer and closer to him. He turns to notice what it is, and something just shoots him into the back of the hallway, sending him all the way across, and he's in pain right now. But the biggest thing is, he looks and it's just a pool of blood on the ground under him where he is, and he looks up at the chandelier and his arm is just freaking hanging. I'm just like, oh my god. So he is in a pool of blood and pain, just screaming right now. And the shock has to drive you crazy as well, because not only are you in pain, imagine looking at your body part being somewhere else in a room and you're sitting there laying on the ground. We hear the chain thing gets closer and closer, and we hear a little bit of a grumble as well. I don't know if this is a monster or maybe it's just an effect of some type of magic, but as it gets closer to Subaru, what happens to him is so brutal that we don't even see it. We just straight up get a Terraformer's black mist as we just hear a splat and blood just splatters everywhere from this point. So I think he lost his head. I think he got beheaded at this point on top of losing his arm right now. And that takes us to the end of the episode as we get the title banner. And it leaves us on this cliffhanger for next week. And this brings up a couple of questions though. I'm pretty sure he died before, you know, he woke up and he wondered what happened. This is a completely different world, so he's died again. Just like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, he's playing Dark Souls right now, and everything he's doing, he just keeps dying. So he's already died once. He died in his sleep and he woke up and he was healed. This time he just gets brutally dismembered, so I would like to know what happened to him the first time. It's clearly an assassin or somebody that took him out in his sleep. Secondly, how he just became sick out of nowhere. There must be some type of magic in play right now to make him feel that way. I think it's two elements here. I think someone used magic, and then once he was weak, they came in and took him out. Now, as I said last week, my number one suspect who's doing this right now is Roswaal. Again, Roswaal is known as the strongest mage in the country, and Subaru's in his house, and he's already suspicious of Subaru. And I think that Roswaal probably knows what Subaru can do as far as his revival from death, and I think he's testing it out in some type of sick way, or maybe this is going to be how he finds out about it, because he's going to be looking like, I killed this guy before and he came back. I'm pretty sure Roswaal is going to have some type of awareness of what is going on, and he wants him out the way anyway, because this guy is going to be the bad guy. I can bank on that. He gets Subaru out the way, that'll make it easier for him to manipulate Amelia and get what he wants as far as ruling the kingdom, since she has the rightful heir. Also, there is a bit in this episode where Subaru and the blue-haired maid are talking, and they say something about demons. I don't exactly remember what it was, but she kind of asked him, does he believe in demons? So maybe this is a mixture of Roswaal, and maybe, I don't know, maybe the maids are actually succubus or something. I mean, that wouldn't be out the ordinary in being in this supernatural world. Maybe they're all nice and polite by day, but by night they turn into something else. Maybe one is good and one is bad. That's why they choose to kind of look out for each other and not let the other one get too far off or stray too far ahead, because maybe one is bad, one is good. I don't know, but all I know is they do have me hooked in, as I cannot wait for next episode. So holler at me in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. What are your theories? What do you think went on? If you liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like. If you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as I bring you guys more content daily. Unfortunately, in this spring season, there's nothing for me to bring you on Monday, but if something super exciting comes out, I'll cut a quick video just to let you guys know, just to catch up with you and say what's up. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me, and I really appreciate that. So thank you for stopping by. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you for joining me once again. It's your boy Infrar-Ed with the Scott Report signing out. See you soon.